The school auditorium buzzed with laughter even before the talent show started. Students whispered. Teachers rushed around with clipboards, and parents filled the seats. Hidden in the last row stood Ethan Hayes, a tired but devoted single dad. He worked 2 jobs and barely slept, but he always showed up for his daughters, Olivia and Emma. His 10-year-old twins stood backstage clutching each other's hands. They wore simple dresses Ethan had carefully ironed early that morning. Their classmates had mocked them all week, saying the girls were too poor, too quiet, too strange to perform. Some boys had suggested they sing as a joke, thinking the entire school would laugh at them. The girls weren't supposed to be in the show at all, but a last-minute dropout left an open slot, and someone had dared them to take it. They said yes because deep down, they wanted to prove something not to the bullies, but to themselves. Ethan had no idea about the teasing, but he knew his daughters were nervous. As he watched from his seat, his hands shook slightly. He wished he could shield them from everything cruel in the world. Backstage, Olivia whispered, what if they laugh at us? Emma squeezed her hand. Then we sing louder so they hear us anyway. When their names were called, the audience murmured, some even snickered. The twins stepped onto the stage, small and fragile under the bright lights. Ethan held his breath as silence settled. A teacher handed them the microphone. Olivia's fingers trembled. Emma's eyes darted over the crowd. Students leaned forward, waiting for a disaster. Then the music began. Their first notes were a ripple of surprise moved through the audience. Their voices blended in perfect harmony, gentle but pure, rising like silver threads in the air. Children who expected something funny stared, mouths slightly open. Teachers stopped walking. Even the principal sat up straighter. As the chorus approached, the twins' confidence grew. They sang with all the strength stored in their small bodies, every wound, every fear, every hope wrapped into their voices. It wasn't just singing. It was honesty. It was heart. The auditorium fell completely silent. Parents leaned forward with stunned expressions. Even the students who teased them lowered their eyes. Ashamed, Ethan stood frozen, tears gathering, despite his efforts to blink them away. His daughters weren't just singing, they were shining in a way he had never seen before. When the final note rang out, there was no laughter, only awe. The silence broke into thunderous applause. People rose to their feet, clapping loudly, cheering, whistling, calling their names. The twins looked at each other in disbelief. Emma's lip trembled. Olivia's eyes filled with tears. They hadn't expected kindness. They hadn't expected anything. But they had earned everything. Ethan rushed from the back row and reached the stage just as the girls ran into his arms. He knelt and hugged them tightly, burying his face in their hair. Overwhelmed with pride he could barely speak through. Dad, Olivia whispered. They didn't laugh. Emma added softly. They listened. Ethan held their cheeks and looked into their shining eyes. You girls didn't just sing. You lit up the whole room. I'm so proud of you. More than you'll ever know. The principal approached, still stunned. Mr. Hayes, your daughters have extraordinary voices. With your permission, I'd like to recommend them for a regional youth music program. It could open big opportunities for them. Ethan blinked, speechless. I don't know if I can afford something like it's fully funded. The principal interrupted. Talent like this deserves a stage. The girls gasped and wrapped their arms around Ethan again, practically knocking him backward. He laughed through tears. Life had been hard, unfair, but moments like this reminded him that hope still existed. As the audience continued cheering, some students came forward to apologize. The girls accepted politely, though Ethan could see the hesitation in their eyes. Trust wasn't easily rebuilt, but today wasn't about the past. Today belonged to them. The principal invited the twins to sing a short reprise for the crowd before closing the show. When they stepped up again, Olivia whispered to her sister, "Let's sing for Dad." Emma nodded. Always, their second performance was even stronger. Their voices carried through every corner of the auditorium, reaching hearts that hadn't been touched in years. Parents wiped their eyes. Teachers exchanged glances. Even the toughest kids stared quietly, realizing they had witnessed something rare. When the show ended, Ethan took the twins out for ice cream, even though it wasn't in the budget. Tonight, nothing mattered except celebrating them, at the small cafe near the school. Olivia asked, "Dad, do you think we can really go to the music program?" Ethan smiled, brushing a wisp of hair from her cheek. "I think you two can go anywhere you want, and I'll move mountains if I have to." Emma giggled. "You can't move mountains, Dad." He winked. "Watch me." As they walked home under the warm evening sky, the twins hummed the melody of their song. Ethan listened quietly, his heart swelling with gratitude. He remembered how scared they looked just hours ago, how small they seemed on that big stage, and now, they were unstoppable. Back at their modest apartment, the girls practiced again, their voices drifting through the rooms like sunlight. Ethan paused at the door and whispered to himself, "They're going to change the world someday." He didn't know how, he didn't know when, But he knew, the twins had found their gift, and today, the world had finally heard it.